Hi Guardians, here's a playthrough and guide for Lake of Shadows Grandmaster Nightfall. This run is pretty smooth with light comms, however I always advocate callouts whenever possible, especially with new players. I'll provide some commentary along the way, and please use a dim link in description for my Void Hunter build using Lucky Pants and Polaris Lance. I'm also armed with an Adept Warden's Law, having a Vorpal and 4 times the charm, but to be honest, any kinetic Vorpal hand cannon will do. I mainly use my hand cannon for champions when stunned or cleanup when needed, and Polaris Lance for ad clear and range DPS. I also equipped a rocket launcher, but its main use was for defeating the Threshers towards the end of the run. So we got through the first wave of ads here. Cabal, Taken, Barrier Champion to the left. A Thresher dropship is going to bring in an unstoppable champion with another Cabal unit. I just shot up there to show where it's a cool place to perch to take care of ads. You can see here, once we get this unstoppable stunned, the kinetic hand cannon with Vorpal, 4 times the charm, and proccing Lucky Pants does incredible damage. That was 2 Lucky Pant Hunters going off on that unstoppable champion. After the unstopped champ and the Cabal, a wave of Taken will appear. This is a recurring theme throughout the GM. Now, my 2 buds here are very experienced at GMs, and to be honest with you, throughout this whole run, they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm just trying to gain perspective here to kind of showcase them and how they're approaching each encounter. Big shout out to Chef Stargate and Arcaic for helping me out with this video. Now, a cool trick is if you have a sneaky Invis Hunter, which Arcaic is on as well, you just have your sneaky Hunter bring the payload up. The other 2 Guardians can hang back where I'm at. And as long as you're not drawing aggro and forcing the champ to follow you, once the payload is fully delivered and detonated, it not only will kill all the ads, but also take out the champion. The next wave of Taken will appear and then disappear, and you can move on your way. It saves some time. If you never tried it before, give it a shot. But be sure to get a tag on the champ before the detonation, to ensure that you get platinum rewards and credit for all champions defeated. Lake of Shadows houses both unstoppable and barrier champions with an arc threat modifier. Arc damage resist mods are recommended. And be sure to ask any questions or post your GM experiences and builds in the comments section. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the video. So this next section, whoever's first should take point on getting the Scions defeated on the front right and back left. We'll have a wave of Cabal. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what the next wave is going to be after the Cabal. There'll be an unstopped champ in the back. A smart move is to go invis if you're doing the Lucky Pants Hunter strat, as their other 2 teammates eliminate the ads. Get in line to stun the champ, and here you go. 2 Lucky Pants hand cannons. Just melt in the boss. And of course, after the wave of Cabal, you have a wave of Taken. Like I said, common theme throughout the GM. The perch here where you first come in is pretty much home base. You can really just camp here and kill everything with ranged attack. Polaris Lance is absolutely OP, even more so with the seasonal artifact mods that really cater towards solar, specifically maintaining damn near 100% uptime on Radiant when maintaining precision hits and proccing ignitions. Throw in the fragments of your choice and you have one of the more powerful weapons in the game. Here's a good chance to let supers fly. Pretty basic ad clear. Tether hangs them all up to dry, and Polaris Lance does the rest. More advancing Cabal and an unstoppable champion will be coming around the corner. So here you go. 2 lucky pants. And again, just melting the unstoppable. You want to be careful though, rounding the corner. This is Turret Alley. There'll be Scorpion turrets there to the right. 2 towards the left, 1 towards the back, and then right around the corner in the back right. So just be mindful of that. Team shoot, call them out, take them one at a time. It's time for the Taken to spawn. I throw a masterful tether right on the Pyramid Tech payload, but it did tether that one. Ideally, you want to get the tether over the payload into where the ads are grouped, so pro tip there. Here's a wave of Taken, Knights with solar shields. Again, tether hunters can hop in there, get them all clumped, and Polaris Lance will do the rest. Once you push the payload further, there will be Cabal that will spawn with War Beast and Gladiators to the left. There'll also be a Barrier Champion on the right-hand side. Call it out, split your team up, however you want to handle it. We usually have 1 Guardian on barrier duty, and the other 2 just clean up the ads, but it really makes no difference as long as you get the job done. And once that final Gladiator, final enemy is defeated, it will spawn the Meep Wall. So this is one of the more tedious parts, if not the tedious, of the encounter of the entire GM. With so much space around the boss, it's really disappointing that they didn't do more to make this a more engaging encounter. But you can see the Taken Blight on the ground is harmful. Get your tethers in here. Apply the debuff. Polaris Lance does work. Be careful of the purple attack. The purple people eaters, as I like to call them. You can easily tank one with the tier 10 resilience, but after taking damage, just like now, you want to veer off to the right, regain your health, and then get back in the action. You can see where my teammate Chef is. That's a safe spot where you can stand and not be affected by the Blight on the ground. But whether you stand there or stand where we're at currently, it's pretty much stick and move, stick and move. There will be a pair of Void shielded Taken Wizards that will spawn. They do have a kind of like delayed pseudo fire, slow moving attack that comes towards you. That can easily be avoided. But hey, for peace of mind, take them out and then continue DPS on the Meep Wall. The Meep Wall will eventually get shield gated, where Taken Eyes will spawn around the Meep Wall that will tether it, making it immune. So you can see I'm over here, I'm just showing you the different spots where the Taken Eyes can spawn. You can get 1 or 2 through the damage window here, but the Taken Eyes that are to the far right, you're going to need to maneuver to the left side in order to get the Blights on the far right. In here, you're just continuing to apply DPS. down to a third of its health, the Meep Wall will shoot meatballs, large meteor size, taken Axion-like darts. Darts, as we like to call them. They're huge targets, shoot them. But if they hit you, that will be a one-hit kill. So you can see I just kind of came over to take advantage of the spot where the taken Blight on the floor doesn't affect you. And I don't know if I drew aggro and ended up getting my teammate killed, but this is a safe spot right here. And the boss is dead. So note those spots on for your next run. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Where do you set up? Also, right to the left of the payload, there's also another quote-unquote cheese spot where you can hang out. However, I haven't used that spot in quite a while, but it is relevant. If there's any other spots, again, let us know. Alright, I guess we're officially in Trostland here. At least venturing further into the water treatment plant. Right through the door, it gets a little claustrophobic. Just grenades, team shoot, and get through these enemies pretty quickly. Always be wary of the grenades. They can attach to you, which will be a one-hit kill upon detonation. There'll be an unstopped champ down here. Stun, go to work. Unfortunately, I didn't have my Lucky Pants proc there. I'm just rolling. Yep, looks like my teammate had his procced. So I have a super here. Decide to tether down. I know if my teammates will have their super, they'll get it after this from the orb generation, and then be able to use theirs on the bottom floor. Yep. So Chef's gonna be popping his super. You got a barrier and an elite down here. So, actually, during the run, I was kind of glad this happened. So, if you're relying on being Radiant to proc a barrier, right? Obviously, you need to get a couple precision shots in for the seasonal artifact mod to take effect to get Radiant. And then, obviously, you know, get ignitions with Polaris Lance. It makes quick work, as you can see right here. Teammate goes in for the finisher. But it's always good to have at least two teammates for each champion with an on-demand weapon, right? So sidearms are the featured weapon in the seasonal artifact for anti-barrier. So it's always good to have at least two people run that, at the very least one, just so you don't have to rely on, you know, the seasonal artifact mod where getting precision hits will grant your solar weapon Radiant. Now it's under Thresher time. Thresher will spawn after those initial phalanxes are defeated. Again, I saved my rocket launcher for this encounter. Wishender does, well, no surprise, Wishender is, you know, one of the more, you know, S-tier overpowered weapons in the game. It does wonders against Threshers. Second Thresher will appear right here. And this is a good spot. You can get a good angle on its left wing, and any artillery it fires, for the most part, will be blocked by the generator in front of us. Now it's just dealing with the remaining adds further down the catwalk. There is an unstoppable at the end. I'm just letting my two teammates finish up here. And I'm just supporting from the back, focusing on the unstop. Looking for my eruptions to break shields and do damage on any other enemies around. It goes right down. Overall, Lake of Shadows has a nominal amount of champions compared to the other more extended GMs. It's always good to play your life, per se. You know, mistakes can happen. You get a little relaxed or casual. You get booped off the side. Next thing you know, you're down to, you know, 2 or 3 revivals. But, you know, be smart. It's a very short GM. Just be mindful that if you get too cavalier and burn through your revives, it may put you in trouble as you get closer to the boss room, and especially in the boss room. There's an unstopped champ down there. Again, Lucky Pants, hand cannon, easily takes care of that. There's a barrier up on the 2nd level. Stunning, team shooting, makes quick work of the barrier and the elite. And then moving up to the next floor. Good place to throw some nades. Polaris Lance does work here. Again, be mindful of the grenades from the Honored Legionaries. Coming in, there'll be a Strand Shielded Elite, as well as another anti-barrier. These ads go down pretty quickly. And just call out what you're going for. For the most part, we go after the champ first. This is a good angle. You can see Arcaic pushed up, proc Lucky Pants. Easy peasy, took out the barrier champion. Here you'll encounter a Tormentor. So be careful of going in before your teammates, or else they'll have joining allies and they'll be delayed reaching you. We drop a tether, fire a rocket off, and just like other Tormentors, you want to shoot its shoulders, expose its chest for the crit. The taken eyeballs will spawn throughout, which have after spawning have a slight delay, which gives one person enough time to defeat them while the other 2 focus on the Tormentor. We got through that rather quickly, but just be mindful of the eyes spawning. They can take you by surprise. And the Tormentor is really the last thing you have to worry about before you approach the final boss room. In this video, I'm not going to go over or show gameplay of the non-cheese or non-exploit way to get through this. To be honest with you, it's not difficult per se, but many Guardians are not used to doing things legit. So this is a way to, you know, get as many runs as possible without having to quote-unquote sweat too hard at the end, by pretty much just moving through the encounter by doing a platforming technique to get in the upper area of the final boss room and attacking the boss. So be sure that when defeating those champs that you don't cause any explosions, because it could detonate the pyramid tech which starts. And you can see Arcaic here. He's simply jumping up. And that is the exploit spot up there. Same thing with Chef, who actually has Strand. So he elects to go 1 step up, throw his Strand, and loop over. As for myself, I'm going just a more traditional way. 1 jump, 2 jump, jump up here. You look towards the J hook, and you just want to jump right next to it, land right on, and then ease your way on top of the wires here, and then fall and die. Fucking kidding me. So, yeah. So right there is the best way to do it, in my opinion. Just jump forward on top of the wires right there. And easy peasy. You're in the cheese spot. And from here, I just launch a tether. Be careful of going too high. You will join allies. Sometimes it can cause you to be glitched. You can shoot rockets from up here. Just be mindful of your aim. These are tracking rockets. And I had no issue from this vantage point getting a track on the enemy without the rocket blowing up in my face. The only thing to worry about from up here is the fire from the Taken Knights, that if they're aggroed, they can reach you up here. As soon as you feel the fire, just move to your left or right, and you should be okay. I mean, there are times where I thought that I'd be fine and I died. Maybe I was just late moving out of the way, but just be mindful of that. Otherwise, it's Polaris Lance spam, Prockin' Lucky Pants, and before you know it, the boss is dead. And there you have it. Grandmaster Nightfall, Lake of Shadows. There's a lot of different builds, a lot of different strategies. You can play more straight up, you can play more aggressive, you could speed run through it. But for the most part, this is the strategy that we use to help viewers out on stream, as well as help new Guardians that aren't as experienced in running endgames, specifically Grandmasters. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Likes and shares are very much appreciated, and subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Peace.